What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out Dr. Phil's audience go silent as civil rights icon debunks systematic racism. Let's get to it.
You say you don't support reparations. Why not?
Not everybody suffered equally. I mean, when you go into slavery, it's much more complex than white people were the oppressors and black people were the victims. If you dissect it, you will find there were about 3,700 free blacks who owned 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is,
I told you blacks own black slaves.
Of those free blacks who owned black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Mm-hmm. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities.
Every day.
We talk about remedies. We've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. When whites were at their worst, blacks were at their best. When we were denied access to hotels, we built our own. We have to communicate to our people the history of how they achieved in the face of oppression. Mm-hmm. But if we continue to sit back and say all of the challenges that we face
caused by white people,
out of wedlock births of violence, that somehow the control of that is in the hands of white America. Mm-hmm. And therefore, until white people change, there's nothing that we can do. This sets up a terrible situation for this nation. The big crisis facing America is not racial. It is a moral and spiritual freefall that is consuming our children. The highest death rate among black families is homicide. Among Silicon Valley, the highest level of suicide, 6 times the national average. In Appalachia, they're prescription drugs. And so if we are to address this crisis that is causing our children to lack a sense of personal responsibility or value for their own life, they will take their own life or take someone else's. Mm-hmm. So in order to address that, we must come together and look beyond race and realize America is drowning because it's in a moral and spiritual freefall. None of us should be defined by the worst of what we were in the past, but we should be defined by what we want to become in the future.
Absolutely.
And that people are motivated to change when you give them a vision of victories that are possible, not constantly reminding them of injuries to be avoided.
Okay, what that man said is information that's readily available, but it doesn't appeal to a lot of people because that's not what people want to hear. People want to feel victimized. People want pity. Blacks owned black slaves. Whites also owned white slaves. So it wasn't a thing of blacks enslaving just whites. It was business. It was show of power, a lot of other things. And also I like the fact that he's stressed back to his times, what he experienced, because I think Thomas Sowell said the same thing, and people said, no, Thomas Sowell is big on propaganda. Everything he's been saying is a lie. Now, this is another person sharing his experience, what he saw firsthand. But a lot of people are not going to agree also because it's not what they want to hear. I saw a video by Tom McDonald where I think the US government is giving black people $536 billion for, what is the language, reparation they used? And I don't know. But it's crazy. Yeah, systematic racism, black people do better when they acknowledge that they are trouble and then thrive through the trouble, not just sitting down saying, oh, our problem is white people. Let's just hate white people and white people should pay us. I don't like the thought and that idea of victimization. It's almost the same thought process, I should say, with what the work community is having now, and they're causing problems. Anyways, let me know your idea. Let me know your thoughts on that one. Feel free to talk to me. I want to hear if I said anything wrong. Feel free to correct me. If you want to add to what I said, feel free to also let me know. That being said, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.